Well, hello, everybody. It is Mary with Stamps-N-Lingers, and it is Thursday at 1 o'clock, which means it is time for a Facebook video. Now, since Facebook and I have been having an argument over who I am, it seems like I wouldn't have such an existential question with Facebook, but I am. I just want to be sure I'm actually transmitilating on my Stamps-N-Lingers page and not on my personal page. So it looks like I am. That is a very good sign. Alrighty, it looks like I am in fact transmitting. Okay, so here's my card. Kind of a not Mary card, but I kind of love it. It has one of my very favorite bundles, which is Sending Smiles. I don't know what it is about these little flowers right here, because we have so many flowers, right? So many gorgeous flowers we have. But these flowers in this set just appeal to me no end. So I've got those, and then I used a couple of the dies from the Framed Florets, the brand new set that you guys are going to be able to get on the 1st of November, or you can join the team now. I would love to have you join the team now, and let's see what we got. There we go. Now comments are coming in. You can join the team now and put these in your starter kit, along with the coordinating stamp set, and be ready to go. And the paper, beautiful paper. So you've got framed florets and framed and festive. Get all of this in your Stampin' starter kit. And I just completely lost my train of thought. Can you tell that I'm floundering a little bit? Sorry about that. Hey, Bree. Hi, Rosie. Hi, Faith. Hello, Janie, Julianne. Appreciate you guys all coming. Okay, so anyway, as I was saying, right now during the Starter Kit Plus promotion, you can get $155 worth of goodies for just $99 with free shipping. And that means you could buy the entire suite, this entire Framed Floret suite, for $97 or so, and still have $55 left to spend. So this is a great time to join. You can get your Framed Florets suite early and be ready to roll. Today, all I used for it was the actual die set. Let me get those back because I am going to need them. And it's got some beautiful ovals. We're going to use a couple of those, and one of my very favorite die cuts, I think, is going to be this little leaf right here. So it's going to be great. Let's go ahead and get started. Everything is on the blog tomorrow, so you don't need to worry about any of that. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of basic white, and we're going to stamp our center graphic. Hey, Connie, appreciate you joining, and I am so glad you have this set. It's a very wonderful one. Thanks, Carol. So I want to, this die right here cuts out a beautiful frame like this. This was obviously on the back of something. But the center oval that it cuts out, perhaps you can see, it has a very nice engraved, even it looks like an engraved edge. So that is what I'm going to use. So in order to be sure that I put my flowers where I want them, I'm just going to go ahead and set that on to start with. So let me give you a little tip about this flower. When you are using this stem set, this stem image, which has 2 flower spots, my suggestion is that you first stamp this uppermost flower, because it really drives the rest of the plant. All right. So if you have that where you want it, you'll do pretty good for the most part getting everything else. Okay. The place I have trouble with is I will tend to, if I stamp this stem first, one or the other or both of the flowers are off of the paper where I don't want it. So stamp the flower, then stamp the stem, then stamp the second flower. And that is what we're going to do right now. So I am going to stamp this first little guy right here. And I'm going to want him right about there. And he's Mango Melody. And that is all I need to have that for, I believe, for right now, because everything else kind of falls into place. So next up, in Granny Apple Green, we're going to stamp our stem. And it's pretty easy to get it lined up because it's photopolymer. Okay. And then in Orchid Oasis, hey Lenny, appreciate you coming. Oh, Debbie, yes, both bundles. You should get them. You definitely could with the Starter Kit Plus, just saying. Okay, now I'm going to take this little tiny cute one. I don't know what it is, but it's cute. And I'm going to stamp it right here in the Orchid Oasis. Like that. Okay. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little tiny bit of So Saffron and put a couple of little flower centers. Thanks, Faith. I hope so. I hope I can give tips that help make this easier. We'll put this right in the center, the large one in the middle of the big one, and the little one in the middle of the little one. There's a certain symmetry about that, isn't there? Okay. Now, I'm going to do 2 die cuts when I turn around to my cutter. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this out like so. Okay, so that's easy peasy. Then I'm going to also use this heart oval to cut my card front. You can see how that's going to look here. Okay, it cuts the negatives out, and you could save all those little hearts. They're perfectly adorable and would be really cute embellishments on other projects, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to just center this up right in the middle of my card front and cut it out. Okay, so I will be right back. Right back. I'll be right back. After I get this cut out. Now I don't cut this on camera because it shakes the table so hard that it will make you sick to your stomach, I assure you. All right, so there's our first piece. And then I'm going to get our card front made. And then it's just a matter of putting it together, and it's just too easy because I don't even have a bow. You have any idea how hard it was for me to not put a bow on? Not even a bow. All right, here we go. Next cut happening now. Alrighty. Okie doke. Oh, I do love these ovals. We've been missing some ovals, I feel like, for a minute. And this is a lovely set to have. So I'll save that. And let's go ahead and put it together, shall we? Easy and peasy. I saved my pepper seeds. I haven't really done that with flowers, because I'm just leaving the flowers out there because the butterflies and bees are still very happy even as they kind of die off. But they are starting to die off, except for the marigolds. Marigolds are they're like the most loyal, faithful plants ever. They just go and go and go. And I know they're spreading their seed around. There's just no telling where I'll have marigolds next year. I really love them. But speaking of, I did just buy some new seeds, so I'll be all ready to start come January. Isn't that just the way gardeners are? We're not even at the end really of the full season and already looking at what to do next spring. But my new favorite thing is zinnias. So I just bought, I think, 6 different kinds of zinnias, and I intend to go zinnia crazy next year. Alrighty, so that is just adhered on a piece of Orchid Oasis cardstock. And then I'm going to pop this little guy up with some dimensionales. Here, I should use this one that's partially started. Why? I don't know. For the same reason you eat out of the already opened box of cereal. I don't know. I just made that up. I have no idea. I have no idea at all whatsoever. Not whatsoever. Okay, so some dimensionals. And then the really only hard part right now is getting it centered. and straight. Centered and straight. Those are my only two goals. Centered and straight. There we go. Now, on my sample card, I used a note of thanks from Sending Smiles. And on this one, I'm going to use birthday wishes. In the sending die set, there are two label dies. You can see their length comparison there. So sending thanks and birthday wishes fit in here. If you wanted to use one of the other cool sentiments in here, you absolutely could. Use the same exact design, just use the longer die and it'll still look perfect. So you could really make this card pretty much fit anything you want, which I think is a very, very cool thing. Yeah, Suzanne, it is an awesome set. It really is. I love it quite a bit. In fact, I just got through, my team is having a retreat next weekend. I pick Amy and Karen up tomorrow, so next weekend we are having a retreat up in the North Georgia mountains, and my shoebox swap is a fun fold made with the new framed Florets suite. So I hope everybody will like it. We like to do fun things like that. We don't do too many of them because it's hard for people to come from everywhere, but we do. Okay, so I'm just going to put him right about there. And all I'm doing is kind of making sure that these little notch guys are about the same distance over the oval. That would make more sense if you could see it better, but it does. Okay, see, I put about the same amount of distance here. That's how I centered it, was to see that distance versus that distance. And it's about right. It looks good. So now we'll add a few butterflies, because butterflies and the flowers, yeah, it's straight up, it's gotta be. I am so enjoying the butterflies in my garden. I can't even begin to tell you. They just really make me happy. And they're so generous. I think if I just stood there long enough, they'd land on me, but I get too impatient. Okay, so there's our card front. Let the cardstock do all the work with that pretty die cut hearts. Now we're going to make our insides, and this is where you're really going to see what I was talking about with setting up your little scene, if you will. Ooh, that almost became a bad thing. I set this stamp set on top, or this stamp pad on top of my Mango Melody while it was open. Not good. Okie doke. So I want to be able to see the whole flower on both flowers on this. So I'm going to start right here with the Mango Melody flower. And you know what? In a fit of efficiency, because I'm nothing if not a fit of efficiency, let's go ahead and stamp the envelope at the same time. Like that. There we go. Now I can close Mr. Mango Melody. Oh, that's cool. I mean, not cool that your friend's husband died, but cool that she's honoring him by giving seeds. I'm guessing he was a gardener. That's wonderful. And yes, I've heard that dill is wonderful, but I've also heard it really spreads. So if you don't want it everywhere, you need to make sure it's in pots. I don't know if that's true, but I read that somewhere and I took it to the bank and I didn't plant them in my garden because I was afraid to have them everywhere. But ooh, you know where they'd be good is like on a hillside where you want to just let butterflies and bees and stuff come, but you didn't really care if it was invading. You could just let it go crazy, huh? All right, and then we'll put our stem. Oh, I have two to do. Do both of them, Mary. You're trying to be efficient. Thank you, Rosie. Trying to be efficient. Okay, there we go. I just love, I don't know why I love this flower so much, but I really do. It just appeals to me so a lot. I'm going to clean this off because I've got a bit of a mess going there. And we'll just plant these little guys. See how I said that? Plant them. That's kind of what we're doing. And that's going to go right off the edge, and I don't mind. And you know what else? It's very easy to get a little overstamp there, but I don't care because to me, it looks like the center of the flower. And when I put the yellow over it, it's going to be even more so like the center. So I take it as a happy accident. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. There's all sorts of ways to justify and excuse bad stamping, right? Alrighty, and finally we'll put our So Saffron centers. And this card will be in the books. You gotta love. I really like clean and simple cards. They just are very, very hard for me to do. Like I said, it took everything I had to not try to find a spot to put a bow or 12 or 16 more rhinestones, something like that. Okay. So we're going to put this on its Orchid Oasis mat. Thank you, Carol. Appreciate that. I love these colors. I'm taking Orchid Oasis as a purple because to me it does read kind of purple. It's kind of purpley blue, but I think it's a little purpley, especially if you put it next to a blue. It gets more purple as you put it next to a blue. And then I'm going to adhere all of this into a thick basic white card base. And this is not very straight, Mary. Not very straight at all. Let me see if I can help it become more straight. Help it become more straight. What do I always say? It's cardstock, people. Make it do what you want. Oh, well. Then I am hoping that where he is now is filled with gardens and dirt and no weeds or fire ants. Let's go with that. Or hornworms or whitefly or any of the bugs. No pests. Only the kind of bugs that bees and butterflies and birds need to eat. But none of the bugs that get on our flowers and eat our vegetables. Pretty sure that's how it should be. Pretty certain that gardeners should go to a heaven with all the things growing they want and none of the things growing that they don't want. And I just put a little butterfly there. They're so thin and flat that you can really do that with impunity. Alrighty, and now we'll put some more dimensionals on the card front. I just planted 6 more Brussels sprout plants. I'm trying to embrace this whole fall, spring planting thing. And I just watched a YouTube video on how to overwinter pepper plants. So I'm planning to try to overwinter my chili peppers. We'll see how that works out. All right, so we'll just pull off these dimensional covers. Y'all, if you don't have the Sending Smiles bundle, please get it. It's really wonderful. It even though I didn't use it today, it's got the beautiful shadowed Sending Sentiment die that makes a very, very nice statement on your card. But as you can see, you can really do a lot with it, even without using that die. All I needed was the label die. Okay. So there is that. Oh, let's see. I had a piece of Orchid Oasis DSP from the 2022-24 in color DSP that I decided to put on the envelope flap since I didn't have any DSP anywhere else on the card to pull from. I thought that this was, hey Linda, I understand. I have the same problem. Okay, here we go. But this one has has flowers and stuff, and I thought it would be pretty. And we'll give that a quick fussy cut. Fussy cut, fussy cut. Oh, fussy, fussy cut, fussy cut, fussy cut. This isn't very fussy. It's just cutting. It's just trimming off the excess. Okie doke. There we go. So, one in birthday disguise, one in thank you disguise, and the same exact card otherwise. So think how many things you could do This is how many you've got. Love and big hugs, a card to say hello, comfort and strength, sunshine to brighten your day. All of those would work perfectly on this one same exact card layout. So think of how versatile this is. Add the frame florets dies so that you can get the pretty ovals, and you'll be ready to go. And if you are not a demonstrator, but you'd like to get those now, let me know. Be glad to have you on the team. Would welcome you. All right. Thanks so much, guys. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I will see you on Saturday at 7 on my YouTube channel. All right. And remember, I've posted the schedule. It's the very first thing, the very first post you should see when you sign into Stamps-N-Lingers on Facebook. That is sitting right at the top, the schedule of my lives. All right, guys. Thanks so much. See ya. Ta.